Hello and welcome to the Minutes Within the Mist, where we brave the ice and snow to tell you about cryptids, ghosts, and other mysteries. Today we travel the winters of Japan to find the Yuki-Onna, the cold woman. This snow lady is the spirit of a beautiful young woman who perished in the snow many years ago. Once, a young man and an old man were heading homewards just as the winter season began, and they had lost their way. Near nightfall, with the snow coming down, they found themselves at a poor, small hut. Here, they laid down and covered themselves as best they could. Despite the cold, they soon fell asleep. About midnight, the young man was awakened by an icy air upon his cheek. He saw that there was a woman in the hut. She knelt by the side of the old man and bent low over him until their faces almost met. White was her beautiful face. White was her garments. Her hair was white with the snow. Her hands, with icicles on their fingertips, were stretched forth over the old man that slept. She rose from the frozen and now deceased old man and came to the young one. She sank down beside him, taking his hand in hers. The young man grew numb from head to heel. It seemed to him as if his very blood froze, and his heart was a lump of ice that stood within his chest. "It is only a boy," she said. "A pretty boy," she said, stroking his hair. "I cannot kill him, but you must promise to never speak of me nor of this night." The young man agreed, and she left. The next morning the sun arose, and he grieved the death of his friend. But within a day's journey he was home in his village. Some years later he met a girl, pale of skin and very beautiful. They fell in love and were married soon after. Eventually, the two had a family. Never once did he speak a word of his night with Yuki-Onna. On a certain evening, many years later, a winter storm blew. He watched his beautiful wife and remarked how much she reminded him of someone. She smiled but seemed concerned. When she asked who, he foolishly told her of the night in the small hut and of the cold lady. Immediately, his wife transformed back into Yuki-Onna, furious that he had broken his oath. She moved to kill the man, but the sounds of their children in the next room stopped her. She chose to spare him in order for him to raise their children. I hope you enjoyed these minutes within the mist about the Yuki-Onna. For more stories about cryptids, ghosts, and other mysteries, join us on our podcast. But until then, make your way out of the snowstorm safely and remain constantly curious.